Good morning. Welcome to County Court 9. Can everyone hear me all right? I never know for sure. Is everyone okay with my volume? All right.
I can hear you.
Thank you. I'm going to call Brian Oriole first.
Good morning, Judge. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Friday.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
And you are here on...
I'm here for Miss Megan Elder. She's present as well, Judge.
All right. Her on this? What do you want to do at this time?
Well, Judge, actually, Mr. Gomez here at the firm with me, I believe was on Wednesday with Judge Angelini, and we had apprised him that we were just awaiting a possible video to be sent over from Universal City PD, and the judge recalled us to today, I guess to make sure that the ADA handling the case went ahead and sent a request for it. So that's all we need to just check today, is that they're requesting a possible video for that.
All right, so you want to go to a breakout room to check on that?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right.
And while I'm doing that, Judge, since Miss Elder's checked in, do you mind if I excuse her to go back to her day this morning while I
Not at
confer?
all. That's a good plan, Miss Elder. You are excused. I'm not. There she is. And you may log off at this time, ma'am. You have a great day and stay in touch with your lawyer, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you should get a breakout room any second, Mr. Oriole.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Jerry Kagan.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
I've got Mario Sauceda, if I can speak with the prosecutor.
Okay. Is Mr. Soseva here?
He's supposed to be because he called me for the link.
Okay, Mr. Soseva. Oh, there he is. I see
I'm
him.
here.
Thank you. Mark you present.
Thank
We'll
you.
give you a breakout room any second, okay, Mr. Kagan?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let me see who else is here. That's it. We are still waiting for other lawyers. Mr. Hiller, we're going to wait for your lawyer, okay? Thank you, sir. And, all right, Chadwick Jones. Can you please unmute yourself, Mr. Jones? Chadwick Jones. If you'll unmute.
Well, present.
Good morning. Who is your lawyer, sir?
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson. Okay. I don't have you on my list. That's why I was not real clear. Is he set today, Aleda?
Judge, I went ahead and sent the docket. It was part of the add-on.
Oh, I see. It's the first one here. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to mark Mr. Jones present. I just didn't see that part. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Jones. We'll just wait for your lawyer, okay? Thank you. You can mute yourself again. All right. So, what have we heard from civil presiding, Aleda?
We haven't heard anything yet, and I have the deputy butler on standby in case they come in,
Oh, okay.
so they can send them to my office, and then we'll contact you right away.
Okay.
Judge, am I a host
You're a co-host, I think. I mean,
or
I thought
co-host?
made you. Yeah,
I can't get
you
the
are.
breakout rooms.
Oh, it says
Let's
remove
see.
co-host permissions. I don't know why it's not working. Let me do that and try it again, I guess. Let's see. I'll remove co-host permission, and then I will make you co-host again.
Is Mr. Oriole in a breakout room?
Let me see.
Yes, he is. Let me see if I can move you there.
If you can just place me in there, I can go talk to him. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Oh, it didn't take. Weird.
I went
Elaine, could you
I
send
went
me?
ahead and put you in there.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Because if she's not co-host, then she has to ask permission to leave or what?
Yeah, I placed her in there just since she was having a little problem, so
Yeah.
but
So
she
I
was
think
able to get in.
it finally, I think it finally took. I don't know why it was. I'm looking to see if she's co-host still or not. I don't know why it wasn't attaching. I was clicking it and it didn't work a couple of times. All right, I guess while we're waiting, I am going to take a 5-minute break. Everybody that is here is conferring. I'll be back.
Hey, Karina, is there actually, can I talk with you in the breakout room real quick one more time?
Yes, sir.
have a chance to check on the videos that you?
I did, Judge. Ms. Sanchez has sent the request in, so if we could just have one for the pretrial setting to see if we can't track that video down, get it
All
sent
right.
up.
So, he didn't give you a date to come back. All right, so, how about, January 18? Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's do that. Okay. That's January 18, 2022. All right, do you have anything else that you need to address the court on?
That's it this morning, Judge.
All right, well, you have a great weekend. Thank you, Mr. Oriel, and your client, Mr. I wrote it down.
Miss Elders, yes, you excused her earlier, Judge.
Oh, and then Mr. I wrote down John Elder. Okay, yeah, that's fine. January 18th. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Judge. You have a great weekend.
You too. All right, Mr. Johnson, good morning.
Yes, Judge, my apologies for being late. I was just caught in an arbitration.
Yeah.
And so I am here on behalf of Mr. Jones at 633-683.
Okay, he is here.
He's here.
What
And
would you like to do?
the plan is to accept a plea, Your Honor, today. And my hope was just to be able to be put in a breakout room with Chadwick so I could just review some of the paperwork before I believe everything's signed. I just haven't had a chance to talk with him yet.
Yeah, okay, that'll work. You'll get a breakout room and Mr. Chadwick will be put in with you in a few seconds, okay?
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Cole Nettles, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Judge?
I'm good. So we are here, Mr. Hiller, right? And he
Yes,
is
Your Honor.
here.
We're here for a plea.
All right. We're going to go ahead and so how are we? I guess I need to ask the state, Mr. Boses, how are we resolving the fact that we had that jury trial? How are we dealing with that?
So I think it wouldn't technically be a plea because this is still a sentencing hearing. However, state and defense conferred and we reached an agreement that we would like to submit for the court's approval as to what his sentence should be.
Okay, so basically it's the same thing. I was going to ask you all your input on what the sentence should be, so it's going to work out. Okay, that's fine. And since you are here, maybe we should just go ahead and proceed on that now.
Yeah, we can. State is ready to go ahead and do that now. Your Honor.
All
We find it as well, Your Honor.
Okay, great. All right, so we are here on I know I saw it someplace on my docket, but I'm not.
It's not on the docket. It was just,
Oh, okay.
sorry
All
about
right.
that.
So then I'm going to need the cause number and so I can call it and we can proceed.
It's going to be cause number 622339, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So the state of versus Robert Joel Hillier. All right. State, please make your announcements and this defense also.
For the state.
Cole Nettles for Mr. Hiller.
Okay, we are going to proceed to sentencing after the jury trial we received the verdict of guilty. And do you all have some kind of an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Following that verdict of guilty, Mr. Boses and I have conferred, and we reached an agreement for Mr. Hiller to waive his right to a new motion for new trial and to waive his right to an appeal on this case. Just take it as it is, in agreement for the state recommending to the court a 6-month probation with ignition interlock for the full term, and then I believe Mr. Boses can fill the court on the remaining terms.
All right. So, Mr. Boses, is that, do we need to add anything to that?
Yes, Your Honor, just a few terms. Everything Cole said is correct. The other terms would just be a $500 fine plus court costs, the DWI intervention class, the victim impact panel, the ATP evaluation, and 48 hours community service. And that would be the with the ignition interlock that Cole mentioned previously, that would be the full terms of the plea or of the sentence.
Okay. So that would be for the 6 months sentence.
Yes,
all
and
right.
so yeah, the state is in agreement to recommend 6 months probation for Mr. Hiller.
Okay. Well, I feel very happy that you all have come to what I think is a very decent sentence. Considering the way the jury trial ended up, I think that there was some concern that somehow the verdict was not reflective of what the jury had considered. But unfortunately, the case law was not supportive of the defendant's desires to contest it. So I think it's wise, everything that you all have done. I think it is to the defendant's benefit. Unfortunately, he does end up with a conviction, and it's, that was the verdict ultimately of the jury. So the court has no way to change that or even comment on it. So I'm going to approve that as the sentence ruling on this case. Is there anything else that needs to be put on the record?
No, Your Honor, I don't believe so.
All right.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Hiller, you are young, sir. You do have a good life ahead of you. And I wish you the best of luck in everything that comes from now on. You do what's best for yourself, okay? You get trained or educated. I have no idea what your status is, but you are young, and the more you know, the better off you are. So that's something that I hope you will take advantage of, that little bit of philosophy there. Okay, well, all right. So at this time, sentence has been pronounced, and it is accepted or part of the record. If there's nothing further, I guess that we will just at this time adjourn this.
Your Honor, should Mr. Hiller meet with Mr. Richardson?
Yes. So we'll go ahead and put you in a breakout room with Mr. Richardson. Mr. Nettles, would you like to be part of that?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, sir. Thank you. This hearing is adjourned, and you will get a breakout room in a second. Just click on that, and you'll be meeting with Mr. Richardson, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. And
Judge,
Mr. Johnson, did you get a breakout room?
I did get a breakout room. I was able to speak with him. We had an administrative glitch, Your Honor. So the email that the plea paperwork was sent to for his signature was Chadwick Jones, but it's actually Chadwick K. Jones.
Oh.
So I was just asking Brett to re-forward it to him, if possible.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me, I can do that really quick. It should be in his inbox in just a moment.
Thank you. And then, Your Honor, could we go back in the breakout room so I could review it with him?
Yes, sir. And if you'll go back to the one you were in, Alita will make sure that Mr. Jones gets there too.
Thank you, ma'am.
have for our 10 o'clock docket, I'm going to be waiting for that plea paperwork so we can do it and then move on to our 11 o'clock docket.
And Judge, this is Jerry Kagan, if I can announce.
I think your audio is out, Judge.
Let me check it again. See, I'm at 100.
There you go.
That's so weird. I'm at 100. So, okay. I guess I'm going to have to report the technical problem about my audio going so fluctuating so much. Mr. Kagan, can you hear me?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
so on Mario, I think we have an agreement, and the real question becomes, do we want to try to finish it up this morning? I don't know what the court schedule is, or shall we push it back one time so the prosecutor can get all the paperwork together?
We can. I have also something coming in on civil. Do we have anything from civil, Aleda?
Nothing yet, Your Honor.
Okay, so then I think we can go ahead and try to get Mr. Kagan's plea done. So, I mean, will that work with you, Mr. Bosis?
Yeah, Judge, that works just fine. Mr. Kagan, can you just send me your client's email in the chat?
Yes.
And I can send out the paperwork.
Yes.
Unmute. Okay, so more. Go ahead. Settings, show name, show non-video participant, show my video on gallery stop when show name.
Jill, you are unmuted. Can you identify yourself, please? U693CL.
Oh, Stephanie Hernandez.
Okay, Stephanie Hernandez. Okay.
Your Honor, that was yesterday's compliance hearing. I did submit an invite to Mr. Piker, but he has not responded yet. But this lady is
Okay.
here.
All right, Ms. Hernandez. And Ms. Hernandez was not here yesterday either.
Yeah, that's correct.
They rescheduled it because I was gonna log in and stuff, and Mr. Piker told me that they reset it for December 3rd.
Oh. That's today. Okay. All right. I guess, oh yeah, Mr. Piker had, was it you that said Mr. Piker couldn't be in court today? No.
He apparently had a conflict yesterday.
There was Miss Kimberly Estrada from pretrial is the one that told us Mr. Piker could not be here yesterday. And so, is he going to be here today?
I did do the re-invite to him.
Yeah, I think you should just give him a call, Aleda, and find out is he going to be here today. I would like to hear it from his mouth, so if
Okay.
you will do that. Okay, Mr. Hernandez, if you'll just mute yourself till we get ready on your matter, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Actually, Mr. Hernandez, I think that you're good. It seems to me that Mrs. Estrada reported that you are back in good graces, that you've started doing your reporting and complying with all the requirements that your bond had assessed. So I have, if I remember correctly, Mrs. Estrada said you were no longer in violation of any of your requirements. So does that sound like what you got from Miss Estrada?
Yes, yesterday I talked to her and we talked about me getting into the drug outpatient program, and she told me, what to call and what I need to do.
Okay. All right. So the only thing I want to say is that a lot of times when you are released or magistrated and they release you from jail, they, I'm not sure they whether they make sure that you understand why you're being released. So when you're being released, you sign papers that say that you're going to follow the bond requirements, the conditions of your bond, and that is reporting and doing the programs that they have told you to do. So I just wanted to be sure that you understood that when you're released from jail, that you have certain things you have to accomplish through pretrial. One of the most important ones is actually showing up and reporting or staying in contact with them. So I just wanted to make sure you understood that. That's all. I would think did she get dropped? What happened? Sorry, I just coughed in y'all's ear, didn't I? Sorry about that.
And Your Honor, I spoke to the secretary at Mr. Piker's office. He is in a Zoom. As soon as he finishes, he'll be joining us.
Well, yeah, I would like for him to show up, but I'm going to excuse Miss Hernandez since Miss Estrada reported that there's no longer a problem. So Miss Hernandez, I think, just got dropped from the Zoom. I didn't do it. Okay. Miss Carriedo came in. There's Mr. Piker.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. I don't know who I'm talking to. Who am I talking to?
This is Lina Carriado, Your Honor.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay, Judge.
Okay, I'll be with you in 2 seconds, okay? I just need to get one other thing addressed. Good morning, Mr. Piker.
Morning, Judge. I got an email from Alita. She wanted me to come over.
Right, because yesterday we found that you were not going to be able to be here yesterday.
Right.
Because the pretrial officer told us that you had told her that you could not be here. But quite frankly,
I told everybody that, and I couldn't. Then I asked for a hearing or to be reset today, but I never heard back till just now.
Okay. Well,
so my client's not available.
No, she was here actually. I just excused her.
Good.
Because what happened is Miss Estrada, the pretrial officer, said that everything is fine now.
Yes.
Apparently they understand each other, and Miss Hernandez is doing what she needs to be doing to keep her bond in place.
Right. And what ended up was they had their orientation interview yesterday, and Miss Estrada is referring her to lifetime recovery outpatient with email check-in on Thursdays.
Yeah. Okay, so I had quite a few violation reports on Miss Hernandez. So my concern always is, do the people that are being managed by a pretrial, do they understand that what is keeping them out of jail are the bond conditions they agreed to? And because I have found a lot of times that people did not realize that they were supposed to report to pretrial, and somehow that just does not get addressed until I set a compliance hearing. So I like to hear from the individual that they understand that these conditions, reporting and doing everything that you've agreed to when you get released, have to be met. Otherwise, there's going to be another arrest warrant, and I don't want to do that because it's just a waste of their time, and it's just certainly not a good situation for them to be in. So
No,
that's
that makes
why
sense.
that's why I have these compliance hearings, because I
Sure.
want to be sure that they understand. So apparently everything has worked out, but I did not find it acceptable, and I'll have to be candid, that Ms. Estrada told me that you were not going to be able to be in court. That needs to go to my coordinator, and apparently,
Judge, I emailed your coordinator.
okay, all right. Well,
So I
again,
did go to the coordinator.
okay. So the big problem these days, since we've had this pandemic, is communication has suffered a great deal, and so somehow she did not get that information, and so I just want us to all. And I talk too much, but I really am interested in communication being effective. So, a lot of times I don't say what I'm thinking, and people will not know what it is I want them to do. So, I'm trying to make sure that I'm clear about my communications, as we all need to be.
Sure. And
And
I've saved all the emails that went back and forth to Miss Estrada and to Miss Castillo. So if it is an issue, I can certainly show you that we had communication.
I have no doubt that you did that, Mr. Piker.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm just explaining to you why I'm doing this, because I want us to all be on the same page.
Sure.
But thank you very much for coming in and allowing me to communicate with you about this. You have a wonderful
Anytime.
day.
We go back so far, nobody wants to even remember it.
That's true.
Not a problem.
We're not that old. I mean, you are not, but I.
Well, we go back a ways.
Yeah, we do. You have a wonderful weekend, Mr.
You as
Piker.
well. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Ms. Carriedo, you are here on
The Anthony Walker, Your Honor.
Anthony Walker.
Yes, Judge.
Is he here?
He said he's trying to log in. It says waiting for the host.
Okay, great.
He may have the wrong link because I don't see him in the in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. Let me resend the link to him then. Oh, maybe he's trying to log in using the link that was used last time. Okay. Well, anyway, Judge, on this case, State and I conferred again, and we agreed, or State agreed to dismiss the case subject to condition. So I don't know if my client needs to enter a plea today, or they will just dismiss the case upon completion of the classes that they want him to do.
Yes, okay. I think that's a great solution. So it will take him time to actually get those done, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, so let me just give you a new date. I don't know what the requirements are, but if I reset this for January 24, well, you think that'll be enough time?
Probably not, Your Honor. Can we
right.
get about 2 months, please?
How about February 2?
That sounds better, Judge.
Let's do that. And so I'm happy that you all did work this out.
Yes, Judge.
I mean, I just I really feel like he's young, and he should have a good life ahead of him. And this makes me feel like he has a better chance of.
Yes, Judge. And thank you very much for your concern. And Miss Sanchez, Corina Sanchez, did a great job in working with us on this case. So I think.
I am very, very pleased with the ADAs that have been working in this court, because they also believe in restorative justice. I believe that it's very important these days. So, and I hope you do not. I mean, I never really expected the answers I got from Mr. Walker, but I had the impression that he is pretty intelligent, and if he did not share that information with you, it was probably because he assumed that things were just going to work out a certain way, and there was no point in him sharing. So
Actually, Judge, he shared all those information with me, and those information were shared with the ADA, and they were taken into consideration. Actually, when they gave us the offer, I discussed the offer with my client, and I discussed with him the repercussions of entering a plea, of even of no contest, and then the JSAT thing. But it was his decision to enter a plea.
right.
And
Well,
yeah.
I mean, what he said to me was not saying that he was not guilty. What he said to me was, and what he said to you was that perhaps what he was saying was he had made a mistake, and all the things that had been involved in his life since that mistake. And, I think that at his age, it's always good to try to consider a second chance, even if he thinks that's not a possibility, because that's probably what he was thinking when he decided to accept that plea.
Yes,
So,
Judge, I agree. So thank you very much.
thank you.
We'll be back on February 2nd then.
Thank you very much, Ms. Carrillo. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. We're still waiting for Michelle Miranda. Is she here? Okay, Miss Miranda. We're waiting for your lawyer, Miss Miranda.
You're welcome. I think he's in another meeting right now.
Yeah, that's fine. We're happy to wait. It's not a problem.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, Judge. Sorry to keep the court waiting, Judge. It's been a
No,
crazy
that's
evening.
okay. We're happy to wait.
Thank you.
Your client, Miss Miranda, is here. What would you like to do on this case today?
Thank you, Judge. This is just a recall from 2 days ago. I just need to confer with somebody just to get an offer on the table, Judge, and then that way we can go from there.
All right, you'll get a breakout room in a moment, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Thanks, Alita.
I am going to check my Adobe Sign, see if there's anything for me to follow up on.
Hey, Judge, I'm back.
Okay, I'll be with you in just a second. I've got paperwork I'm signing, and I'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. All right. I am back. I don't know who was. I was Mr. Pettis. Okay. Did you get a chance to confer?
Yes, Your Honor. I got a chance to confer. I know who I'm dealing with. There, we do have an offer now, a very favorable offer, which I think my client will be inclined to take. However, we do need to discuss it. So I'm just looking for one last reset, Judge, to get that done. And I think we're close to a resolution.
All right. Let's come back January 20.
Into the new year already.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but you know that you can always come back earlier, right? Whenever
For sure.
you have
Okay.
all the paperwork ready, just let Aleda know. We'll bring you in, okay?
Okay. And tell Aleda thank you for all of her help. I know she's been communicating with us.
Okay, great. All right. You take care. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a
Thank you,
great
Judge.
weekend.
You too. You guys have a good one. Bye, guys.
Miranda's excused and she can log off at this time. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, so on Mr. Kagan, I do have the paperwork on his client. We can proceed on that.
Judge, I needed a minute. I'm at a Zoom on a different device. Give me one minute.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll wait. Not a problem.
Right, but is there a signature on the order?
I'm sorry. What was the question? Who's
I
talking
think
to?
he was talking to someone else, Your Honor.
Oh,
He was
oh,
on
okay.
mute.
Oh, okay.
And Judge, this is Robert Johnson. May I approach?
Yes, sir.
Judge, we've completed our paperwork. I've reviewed it with Mr. Jones. I think when the paperwork comes through on your end, we are ready to take a plea then.
I'm going to go back there and check right now. I just signed one other thing that was set for today. Hopefully yours is there too, and I will sign it. There we go. It's right there.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We are ready on two pleas. Let me see. We're just waiting for Mr. Boses or Miss Sanchez.
Jerry,
I'm
can
here,
you-
Your Honor.
Okay, great. All right, Mr. Boses, we're going to proceed on cause number 650927. Mr. Sauceda, I'm going to ask you to please unmute yourself, please. And turn on your video.
Let's see. Oh. There we go.
All right, sir. Raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. You may lower your hand. This is cause number 650927, the state of Texas versus Mario Salceva. Council, please make your announcements.
Brett Moses from the state.
Jerry Kagan, I'm ready.
All right. So are we proceeding on the information as presented?
Your Honor, as part of the agreement, the state will be waiving the DWI second enhancement, and we're proceeding on this as a DWI first.
Okay. All right, so, well, and the plea paperwork indicates the correct range of punishment. So we're looking at defendant's waiver of constitutional rights. So, Mr. Salceda, you've been charged with the offense of DWI, which is driving while intoxicated, as a first offense as a Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment for that is up to, from a minimum of 72 hours up to 180 days in Bexar County Jail, and or a fine up to $2,000. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go to page 2 where it says defendant's signature. Did you sign that, sir?
Yes, I did.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you're waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as all those other rights listed in that document?
Yes.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but later tonight or tomorrow you decide you want to take your plea back, you would need my permission to do that, but I do not have to give that permission. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do.
If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, then you can take back your plea and nothing you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you. Also, you are pleading no contest, but you need to understand that even if, I don't know, I'm hearing voices. That's very weird. Even if you plead no contest, I can still find you guilty of this offense. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Kagan, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Salceda?
I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
Most certainly does.
All right. Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
Yes, he has.
All right. I approve the waiver. Do we have an agreement?
Your Honor.
We do.
The agreement is for a $500 fine plus court costs, 180 days probated for 14 months, the DWI intervention class, the TAP evaluation, ignition interlock for half the term, and $60 restitution to DPS.
So, Mr. Kagan, is that your understanding of the agreement?
That's our agreement, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Salceda, to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes.
I will accept your plea. I am assessing a $500 fine plus court costs. Bexar County Jail, 180 days, but that is probated for 14 months. DWI intervention course, the TAP evaluation, ignition interlock for 1/2 your term of probation, and a $60 restitution fee to the Department of Public Safety. There is no community service?
No, there's not.
Okay.
The person who made this offer did not put community service as a part of it.
Well, let me see. How about if I probate your fee? I'm wanting to give him some benefit if he's been fully vaccinated for COVID, or if he gets fully vaccinated, and I'm not knowing where I can apply that. So,
I suppose you could reduce his fine if he were to to do that.
All right, let me reduce the fine by $100. So, and that is, I guess I would be, would I be reducing
It would
it or
be-
probating it?
Well, are you trying to say that if he wants that, he either has to get vaccinated, or if he is vaccinated, show proof?
All
Is
right.
that what you're
Yeah,
trying to do?
that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so if you're fully vaccinated for COVID, or if you become fully vaccinated for COVID, I will reduce your fine to $400. We need to have proof to the probation department, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I've got to write that down here so I don't forget. Okay, so Mr. Sauceda, to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense as a Class B misdemeanor. I think I just took your plea for that is no contest. So is there anything further from defense?
Nothing further from the defense, Judge.
Anything further from the state?
No, nothing further.
So, Mr. Sauceda, I have followed your agreement. That means you do not have a right to appeal. You did fill out a personal data sheet. Do you swear that everything you put in there is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
All right. At this time, we're adjourning this hearing, and I'm going to ask you to meet with Mr. Corey Richardson in a breakout room. He's going to give you important information on what to expect and how to proceed, okay?
Okay.
So you'll get
And
a
Ma-
call. Yes.
And Mario, after the breakout room, give me a call, please.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so at this time, I want to advise you, you'll get a prompt on your screen, join breakout room such and such. Click on that, please. Thank you. All right. We're going to move on to the next one, and that is Chadwick Jones. Good morning, Mr. Jones. Will you please unmute yourself?
All right.
All right, will you please raise your right hand and be sworn? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may lower your hand. This is cause number 633683, the state of Texas versus Chadwick Jones. Counsel, please make your announcements.
Closest for the state.
Robert Johnson on behalf of Chadwick Jones.
So are you Chadwick Jones?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
You've been charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, less than 0.15, and so this is as a Class B misdemeanor. Is there an amendment to this as part of the agreement, Mr. Boses?
Your Honor, the state is waiving the over 0.15 enhancement, and we're proceeding on this as a DWI first, Class B.
All right.
So I guess the correct box would be the very top one.
Okay, thank you. And we'll make a change on the original, okay? So, and that's not a problem, is that right, Mr. Johnson?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All
No
right.
objection.
All right, so, Mr. Jones, you are being charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense, as a Class B misdemeanor. And you see on the screen that the correct range of punishment is actually the first box that says from a minimum of 72 hours up to 180 days in Bexar County Jail, and or a fine of up to $2,000. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to go to page 2. You have reviewed this document with your attorney, and did you sign on page 2 where it says defendant's signature?
Yes.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you are waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as those other rights listed in that document?
Yes.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but then later on tomorrow maybe you might change your mind and you want to take back your plea, in order to do that you would need my permission, but I do not have to give that permission. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, then you can take back your plea and nothing you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you. Also, you need to know that if you enter a plea of no contest, I can still find you guilty of this offense. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Johnson, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Jones?
I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
He does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
He has.
I approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor. The agreement is for a $500 fine plus court costs, 12 months deferred adjudication, 48 hours community service, the DWI education class, the victim impact panel, the ATP evaluation, ignition interlock for half the term, and $60 restitution to DPS.
Mr. Johnson, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jones, to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense, as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will accept your plea. I am not making any findings of guilt. I'll place you on deferred adjudication for a period of 12 months. Assess a $500 fine plus court cost, 48 hours community service. You are to complete the DWI education course, victim impact panel, and do the ATP evaluation. Also, install on your vehicle ignition interlock for 1/2 your term of probation and pay $60 restitution fee to Department of Public Safety. As far as an additional option I'm going to offer you, I will give you 24 hours community service credit if you are or get fully vaccinated for COVID. You would need to show proof of that to the probation department, and you will get that credit either at any point that you have that proof. Okay, that will reduce your community service hours to 24. All right, so is there anything further from defense?
Your Honor, just a quick issue. Mr. Jones resides in Maui. And so we have I've spoken with Mr. Bostis about this. So we have to determine where probation is going to take place. Now, I think we can probably Zoom out of Bexar County, but we've also done a little research on the available probation in Maui too, which is through the Maui Correctional Department. So I think it'd be easier for Chadwick at least to have access if it was in Maui, but if Zoom is just as easy, we are amenable either way.
Right, and Mr. Richardson, what is the drawback about having him be supervised through Bexar County?
So him being supervised through Bexar County would give direct funding to Bexar County versus Maui. From probation standpoint, Zooming, it gives face-to-face contact. Now, the only issues he could run into would be figuring out where to do accredited classes in Maui. So I guess my best recommendation on that would be to report by Zoom and and if there's a way we can figure out how to get the accredited classes, including DWI education and the victim impact panel in Maui, then that would be the best option in my opinion. The main thing is DWI education, because that's gonna basically reinstate his driver's license. So that's why I would want the DWI education to be accredited in Maui. But I would, from probation standpoint, we would like him to report by Zoom so Bear County could get direct funding.
Mr. Johnson, do you have any response to that would, whether you want to persuade us to keep it in Bear County or not?
And I think I just defer to my client, Your Honor, if I could. I mean, Mr. Jones, does that sound okay, workable, where you would Zoom in through Bear County? You just have to find the courses. I think Chad's very resourceful, so.
Okay.
Yes.
That would work for you, Mr. Jones? You think
Yes.
that doing it that way? All right, well, let's do that. He will be reporting to Bear County for supervision, but you will need to make arrangements to, especially the DWI education course, be able to get an accredited program through Maui. You have not had an opportunity to check that out, Mr. Johnson, right?
I have not, no, ma'am.
No. All right, so let's just say that we will accept credit for courses that are accredited in Maui in lieu of doing them in Bear County. But if there happens to be one of them that cannot be done through Maui, then it will be done through Bear County. I think a lot of these other ones are online. Is that right, Mr. Richardson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so maybe that will be the best resolution for it. Okay, but at any time that you encounter any problems, Mr. Jones, please know that the court is willing to listen if we have to do any modifications. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So at this time, we will be supervised by Bear County, but again, for the record, the accredited classes, if they're available in Maui, will be allowed credit for that. Okay, if they're not available, accredited courses available in Maui, then they will need to be done through Bear County. And I think I did say that, yeah, I've already said everything. Okay. Is there anything further from defense?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
So anything further from the state?
No, nothing further, Judge.
Okay, I do just want to make clear, Mr. Jones, that this is a very, very beneficial agreement that your attorney has obtained for you, because if you do everything you promise, sir, then you will not have a conviction. Okay, that's pretty important. It's important for your future employment opportunities, educational opportunities, everything. So it is really important that you succeed at this and completing this probation. Because if for some reason the state feels it's necessary to file a motion and I find sufficient reason to follow it, then I can give you that conviction. I can revoke your community supervision, assess up to 180 days in Bear County Jail, and you would have a very limited right of appeal. So it's important that you know all the aspects of this agreement. At this time, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. That I do need to check with you. You did fill out a personal data sheet. Do you swear that everything in that personal data sheet is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And if in the future you find that there was an oversight, that you will correct it so that there is always a way to be in touch with you and it is for your benefit that I am saying this, because it is a very important document, because you do not want to fail to get notice of something that is essential in your probation. Okay, so at this time, I have followed your agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. I think we have covered all our bases. I want to wish you the best of luck, Mr. Jones, and I hope you have a great future. You take care of yourself. I'm going to ask you to join a breakout room and meet with Mr. Richardson. He's going to give you important information on what to expect and how to proceed, okay?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, and this hearing is adjourned.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. You have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Okay. Mr. Sauceda, can you please turn on your video, sir? Okay, did
Hello.
you get a chance to meet with Mr. Richardson, sir?
No, I went in there and there was nobody in there in the room.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to go back because he probably was participating or listening to another plea while we were finishing that up. So
Okay.
he will join you shortly. If you go back to the one you were in, he will be there shortly. Well,
All right.
now he's got one more person ahead of you. So just be a little patient. It's going to be important that he talk to you, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.